project time. Got the ladder up. This weekend, I put the Great Stuff foam filler in all these gaps around the entire garage where the sheet metal and the foam have like a small gap, or the insulation and the sheet metal and the structure has small gaps. I had no idea. I was up there yesterday and I realized there was a little draft coming out. And what made me think to go do it is when I was walking outside in the dark, I had the garage light on the inside, obviously. I'm walking around and I see light coming from like in here. You can actually see where I put foam right there. It's kind of coming out. And I foamed the entire space. So that's what you were seeing on the inside. And I heat this garage in the winter and it's, you know, 0, below freezing, -22. It's been that bad here. So now I have another area I'm trying to kind of seal up. And if you look between, not there, there's a gap from the roller in here. There's a gap from the rollers there. Actually right here, sorry. On the front of the door, obviously. Where light comes in, and you can see it even more here. Look how big this gap is. So that is the largest gap I have that's exposed in the garage doors. But the problem is when it's rolling up, it rolls up and gets bigger, right? So it closes that gap a little bit. So you can't just like shove foam in that. So again, if you look on this side, you can start to see the gap is a lot smaller, but it's still there. So I went to Home Depot and I found this stuff, which I think is actually supposed to be put on the bottom of a garage door. And it has like a bit of a squeegee, kind of a flap here. So I found it in brown, already painted. So these are 10-foot doors. It's 10 foot by 10 foot. So they come in 9-foot and 7-foot sections. I have no idea why that's the size, but so I bought 2 9-foots and then the 7-foot. So I'll need a foot twice of that. And what I'm gonna do is, maybe I can take you up on the ladder with me. Okay, let's one hand this. Maybe not. Let me get about a 75-degree angle. So my goal, now that I'm up the ladder, will be to put it on this beam here. So you can see the gap there. So it looks like I can use some self-tapping screws and run it along this beam in each section there and close like 95% of the gap. You can see there where it really comes in. That's the door that's down and this is the door that's up. So I'm gonna try doing that now and see if I can keep a little bit more of the air from, you know, transferring in and out. And we'll see. All right, so I measured between the beams themselves, right there, it's 59 inches, or like just under 59 inches. So I made this cut just shy of 59 inches right here. Just use the Dremel. And the Dremel, if you guys have one, they've got the plastic cutter, whatever, plastic blade. So now I've got this guy. I'm gonna probably put this side facing down, you know, so if you do happen to look up, it's actually the nice, you know, exposed side. And yeah, the Dremel cut that, I mean, like butter, honestly. It was pretty quick. And I've got just some self-tapping screws here, right? I did want to make sure to get them at 1 inch to make sure they can go through this and still have plenty of bite to go into the steel. And that's the Great Stuff that I used to fill all the cracks around the edges as well. So I'll cut back to hopefully a success story of me installing this. So now I've positioned these in and it took all of like 3 minutes, not kidding. So you can see now the gap is very small. So it still has to be there, but that flap really opens up all the way. So as these whatever, the garage door, I don't know, siding, whatever this material is. I mean, it's steel, obviously, but the lumps, I don't know the word for those things, grooves, they should be able to flip through this. That's my goal. So I'm about to try to open the door for the first time. but you can see the difference in the gap instantly. I mean, even if that saves me like 80%, that would be awesome. Well, it worked. The gap is pretty much gone. Now when the door is open, obviously, like the air is coming out anyway, but look at this gap in here, right? Versus nothing. So it does flap. I mean, it flaps as you're pushing it past these ridges here, and it creates a little bit more drag. I don't really mind it. You just gotta kind of push the door a little more, but that's awesome. I mean, that should really help. So actually, let's drop this. You hear it flapping. Yeah, you see it right there. All right, so now you can see it covers up a really good section. There we go. How open that is versus how closed that is. I mean, that alone will stop a lot of airflow. All right, 3 more times.